This brain starter is asking to find sine, cosine, and tangent of 90 degrees. And the first thing you should do is consider the unit circle. Remember that for 90 degrees we're looking at this point right here, or 0, 1. Sine of 90 degrees would be the y value, cosine of 90 degrees is the x value, and tangent of 90 degrees is y over x. So, for sine, the y value is just 1. For cosine, the x value rather, is 0. And for tangent, it is 1 over 0, which is undefined. If you're given any one trig ratio and the quadrant that the angle is in, you can find the other 5. Now remember, sine is y over r, cosine x over r, and tangent's just y over x from the coordinates. If you forgot what the r is, just remember that you can take the Pythagorean theorem of the x and y coordinates to find out what r is. And of course, cosecant, secant, and cotangent are simply the reciprocal of sine, cosine, and tangent. The quadrant becomes important because the quadrant tells you which of these ratios are positive and which ratios are negative. And remember, I taught you to use the phrase forecast to figure out which are positive and negative. You start in quadrant 4, and then going around just as an angle does counterclockwise, you know that cosine is positive in quadrant 4, all are positive in quadrant 1, sine is positive in quadrant 2, and tangent is positive in quadrant 3. In this question, we know that tangent is 5 over 12 and sine is negative. So we have to find the other 5 trig ratios. The first thing you should do is find the r value. So pause your video now so you can find what r is. I hope you saw, using the Pythagorean theorem, that r is 13. You just plug in 5 squared plus 12 squared equals r squared. So, if we look that tangent is 5 over 12, and we know that tangent is y over x, that means that our y equals 5, and our x equals 12. So first off, let's just label 5 over 12 for tangent. But now, if the y is 5, that would mean sine is 5 over our r of 13, cosine is 12 over 13, and then, going here, we take the reciprocals. We have 13 over 5, we have 13 over 12, and we have 12 over 5. Now the next thing we have to do is decide which of these are positive and which of these are negative. Remembering forecast, we know that cosine is positive in 4, all are positive in 1, sine is positive in 2, and tangent's positive in 3. So one thing we know from the problem is that tangent is definitely positive. So what that means is we're either in quadrant 1 where all of them are positive, or quadrant 3 where just tangent is positive. However, then it also says that sine is negative, which means not all of them are positive, which means we're in quadrant 3 where only tangent is positive. That would mean that sine is negative, cosine is negative, cosecant and secant are negative, and the tan and cotangent are positive.